Good afternoon. My name is FS1 David Hoover. This is Cooking with the Coastie. Today we'll be making pita bread. Pita bread is really simple, quick and easy. It doesn't take no time at all. First we're going to start with our pound of whole wheat flour. We'll take our pound of red flour. We'll take our 1/4 of an ounce of instant dry yeast. What you don't want to do with that, with your spatula, you can mix it all together, get it nice and incorporated, kind of like that. Then the next, you've got 20 ounces of room temperature water. You've got 3/4 of an ounce of kosher salt. You've got 3/4 of a teaspoon of granulated sugar. I like to mix these together. That way when you go to incorporate the dough, when you go to make the dough, that you don't have big piles of salt at the bottom. So mixing the sugar and the salt within the water kind of keeps that from happening. So the next thing that you do is we've got your mixing bowl with your dough hook. Okay, we have a 7-quart mixer, but it works just fine in a 5-quart mixer. If you want to bulk up the recipe, you can make it in a 5-gallon mixer even if you want to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the water and the oil. Okay. Mix that sugar and the salt together so it's all out of the water container. And the next thing you do is you just carefully add the flour and yeast into the water. So remember, when using the mixer, remember don't have any aprons on. Remember to have it plugged in. All right. Start it off on low. Okay. While it's on low, it's gonna mix for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, we're gonna bump the speed up to medium, which on this mixer is between 4 and 6. And then we'll mix it for 3 minutes. So after your 4 minutes on low speed, we'll turn slowly up to medium. Keep in mind, while the mixture is going and it's on medium, that it may move around, especially if you've got one of these small KitchenAids. So you may just want to stick around for the 3 minutes and hold on to it. And make sure it's properly secured somewhere where it's not going to move around. So after the 3 minutes, slowly turn your mixer off. Remember that you don't want to go from medium speed all the way off. Slowly reduce the speed. Drop it down. Undo your dough hook. Pop out your bowl. You should have pretty nice gluten development. It should be somewhat sticky but firm. Should be able to pull it apart, but you shouldn't get any on your hands. So it should be slightly moist. So what you do with it is you'll have another bowl. Spray your bowl with some pan spray. What you do is just kind of make a big ball out of it. Tuck the ends under. Place it in the center of the bowl. Cover it with some saran wrap so it can bulk ferment. It takes about 60 minutes, but it can take anywhere from 30 to 45 depending on the heat and humidity in your galley. So set it in a nice secure place so it doesn't fall off the counter. And then we will wait, and then we'll roll the dough out. So after 60 minutes of bulk fermenting, take your plastic wrap off. Your dough should pretty much look like that. It's pretty much doubled in size. So what you do is you just carefully take it out, put it on the table, make sure your table is nice and clean. You can press some of the air out of it, but you don't need to press it too much, don't need to mess with it too much. Just kind of roll it back and forth. You want to stretch it out just a little bit. You'll really feel that that gluten development. It should be nice, somewhat firm. Should be pretty stretchy, but you should see the tears in there. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll these out into 4.5 to 5 inch portions. Okay, just like any hot roll or type of bread that you're making, you want to roll it out. So you just start, get your nice round dough. You know, curl your fingers, tuck in the bottoms with your pinky as you're going. Should come out looking like a hot roll. Put them on a sheet pan with some parchment paper. Roll it out just like that. Set this one in there. Okay, just realized you can do about a 4-ounce pita, and it'll be about 4.5 to 5 inches in diameter. Nice and good. Fill it with a little hummus or vegetables. Keep it nice and healthy. You can use them for gyros, whatever you want. Okay, so we'll take some plastic wrap. So we'll cover them. We'll let them sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Just let that gluten relax a little bit before we roll them out. Okay, so now we wait our 15 minutes. They should be nice and relaxed. They should feel a little bit warm to the touch. What you want to do is you want to take it from the first one that you did to the last one. So we'll start with this first one here, and we'll end with this one. Okay, so you've got your dough ball. You've got your rolling pin. Okay, you can kind of flatten it out with your hand. See how it flattens out nice and easy. Just looking to slowly roll it out. All right, you want to start in the middle, roll out to the edges. You're just trying to make a circle. Should start to look like a pita bread to you. Okay, so these ones, they should be about 5.5 to 6 inches in diameter. Okay, you don't want to roll them out too flat. So once you get one, just take it, place it back on your parchment paper. If you want, you can kind of move these around. So every now and then you may get a sticky one. It is alright to use a little bit of flour. You don't want to use too much. That flour will stay on the surface. It will bake onto it. So just be careful with how much flour you use. This recipe calls for wheat flour. You can use AP flour. You can use different types of flours that may have a little bit different flavors. Just remember that it's key that when you put it into the oven, that your oven is hot. That's what creates that pocket. So just keep in mind, if you mix longer than what the recipe calls for, you may have a tougher product, so it may be a little harder to roll out. So follow the directions. All right. So now that we've got them rolled out, they're rolled out flat. We're just going to take that plastic wrap, cover them back up, and let them rest. Let that dough relax a little bit more, and we're going to let that happen for about 15 minutes. All right, so now that they've relaxed for 15 minutes, we'll just take the plastic wrap off of it, take it, open the oven. Remember, your oven is at 500 degrees, so please be careful. These will cook fast. Your cook time on them is really only 4 minutes, so we'll set the timer for 3.5 just to see how well it goes. While they're in there, you can watch them. They'll puff up pretty quick. One thing you do want to make sure you watch out for, if you have the capability of looking through your oven door, is making sure that they don't expand too far and actually split. Other than that, it should only take a quick 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so remember, oven's hot. Okay, as you can see, the steam inside created big air pocket. That's what will give you the pocket inside. I'll let them cool for about 3 to 4 minutes. What you want to do is you'll take a nice clean towel. They won't fall so flat as they're cooling, but take them, lay them upside down on the towel, stack them nice and neat on top of each other, try to make them balance a little bit. What you can do is you can kind of press down a little bit. Be careful because they're still extremely hot inside. That steam that's inside of them is hot. So then you just take the towel, kind of fold all 4 sides over it, flip them over, let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, then you can actually use them. Or you can leave them in the towel, wrap it in saran wrap, and put it in the reefer and use them at a later time. Let them cool completely. Then you can take the towel off, wrap them back up, you can freeze them. Okay, now that they've cooled, you can go ahead and unwrap them. So you can see that they've flattened themselves out. You can turn them over. Alright, they're nice and flat. Should have a little puff to them, but not too much. You can cut them in half and see the pocket that you've created. Okay, you can use just about anything to fill them, anything from peanut butter and jelly to making gyros out of them. So, thank you for watching. This was making pita bread.